Can I start?
Um, just give me a second. So, hello everyone. A warm welcome to you all in today's Policy Manthan. And as you all know, education is something that shapes a nation. And today we'll be discussing how and what are the priorities which are there when we talk about Indian education system. So, without taking much time, I would like to invite our first speaker, Kushan Kant, to share his thoughts. Krishan, I think you're muted.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes. So the issue that I have found out is about the students at early age found that Indian education system hasn't been fair. Means the education the teachers taught us isn't of any use. Like there is a saying about that ki, there is nothing use of what we are learning here. Like in maths, we learn about x, y, that variables, and students tend to think about that this is of not of any use. And it has been consensus based saying at lower ages that it is of no use. So I think that this is one of the glaring issue, and we need to find out any solution about it. That with time, yes, we tend to know about what is the importance of that we have taught at early age. But yes, at early age, if we can know about what is its use and how can be it used at later stages, then it can be really helpful. And another issue that I have been finding is a bit somewhat political. That is with the deletion of some chapters about the Mughal period. That is of somewhat uh, political, but students at and looking at their family, what they say, family education, they think that education is being taught in such a political manner and has been biased towards particular a, and history is being distorted. So I think that these are the two issues, that balanced education with the providing the enough knowledge about why they are being taught that, and presenting the true history, the balanced history would be beneficial. I think this is from my side for this policy, Manthan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Krishnagant. Anyone has any questions or any views to share? Nobody? Okay, guys. So I think we'll move forward. So I would like Anushri to go next.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, so basically, there are a lot of problems in the education system. Uh, if we are here to focus upon solutions, so I have few points on solutions. First, we can make learning community centered. Basically, we think that schools are the hub where students will get to learn. But what happens is when we look around, we can see farmers, artisans, entrepreneurs, professionals who are working in the society itself. So students can be encouraged to learn from them. Like they can calculate some things from street vendor to strengthen their maths. They can test the pH of their village pond. So these practical solutions will be helpful. Secondly, embracing neurodiversity and inclusivity. We usually focus on scores, but what we can do is making learning differentiated. Like if a child is weak, then peer teaching circles can help, project based assessments can help. So different strategies for different students will help. And thirdly, using technology not as a luxury but as a bridge. Usually what happens is in many private schools, this AI etc is there, but in government schools you see lack of it, not because it is not present but because there are many government initiatives also which are not being implemented on the ground. So if such initiatives are implemented on the ground properly, then students can also use these resources properly. And secondly, redesigning teacher development. As I also mentioned in earlier policy months, teachers are not willing to teach very nicely as they want their kids to grow. So proper teacher training, psychologists can be appointed to see how if they're eligible or not, properly trained or not to teach even. And cross country teacher exchanges, digital teaching communities, these can be good. And at the end, being a good value based citizen is the requirement of present day scenario, because though there are many resources, but what we can learn from our grandparents, from our society, from our parents, from our brothers, sisters, that can value the education system much better than simply rote learning or designing strategies and methods.
Okay, that was really informative, Anushri. I would like you to summarize your speech in 3 words. Like, what are the top 3 priorities that you feel?
Top three priority is, firstly, not rote learning or textbook based thing, but practical solutions should be there. Second, learning from values. And third, the learning should be such that it is good for the people around you and just not scoring in exams.
Okay.
Yes, well said, Anushri. Also, to summarize the whole speech that she just gave, I think she focused more on vocational education and value education. So, do we all feel that these two aspects are highly missing in the Indian education system? And if we inculcate these two aspects into our education system, would that help?
Yes, ma'am, like I totally agree with Anushri on the community-based learning. Like earlier, we used to have a Gurukul system. So there, education was not like one stream, but it was rather part of our daily life. So in that way, the education was much better because it was included in the daily life.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, guys, there are around 21 people in this meeting. I am only seeing कि 3 लोगों का camera on है. What about the others? Do I have to remind you all bar? I think it's our third policy month in. Please turn on your cameras. This is not how it works. Thank you. So next, I would like Ritika to share her thoughts.
Yes, ma'am. So, uh, regarding this policy, Manthan, education, I believe, is a very important tool, not only for an individual to develop, but a nation as a whole to develop. It is it is the most powerful weapon that can transform lives. But the education we are getting, the curriculum we are studying, is it really relevant in terms of giving us a quality education? I believe it. There are certain loopholes and gaps in our current education system that makes the education highly ineffective. Even if somebody has a degree, that person is not job ready. So uh, so there are a few points or solution as in that I would like to propose uh, to make the education more accessible and accommodable. First would be, like Anushri mentioned, providing skill based training to teachers. But in this point, I believe it's not only about teachers not being willing to teach student properly. It is also about teachers not knowing how to teach students properly. It is some teachers believe like giving a ppt or just reading from the book and translating gets the job done, but it really essentially is not teaching. Teaching is a very distinct profession. I believe it should not only be about a teacher having vast era of knowledge. It should also be about giving the knowledge and translating it to its pupil. If a teacher is unable to do so, I don't think that teaching is really worth it. So there should be training programs for teachers so that they can get into real application based at how students are learning it. There should be a modernization of curriculum. Basically, the curriculum that we are studying is very outdated. There should be more subjects that relate to the 21st century needs, like entrepreneurship, AI, climate change, that are not only just to get marks, but to also have a real life application, that even if somebody is not giving exams and getting marks, they can be used in real life. Most of our curriculum does not correlate to real life. It just is for the purpose of marks. Another I would like to mention would be including skill based education, and not only technical skills, but also soft skills like leadership, problem solving, critical thinking, because these topics are very essential but are highly overlooked, because they do not have a because they have a very subjective interpretation, so they are highly overlooked. But these things help build resilience in an individual's life. So this was all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritika. That's great confidence. Anyone wants to ask anything? किसी को कुछ add करना है? Speak up, guys, please. Don't let this be one-sided. No one wants to say anything. मैं पूछ लूं फिर आप लोगों से क्वेश्चन? कोई कुछ नहीं बोल रहा. Shall I ask then? Next time, say, I want you guys, I'll just ask a random question and I'll see if you guys are attentively listening or not. Okay. So, thank you, Ritika. I would like
We
Shri
can
Vanvi
ask
to.
them, everybody. You can tell me the main areas which Ritika covered. Any three topics which she covered. Just let me know.
Sakshi, let me, can I say someone's name? Like, let's call
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Sure, sure.
Okay. So, I'll see people जो लोग बहुत आराम से बैठे हैं. Ishita, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. Answer what Sakshi asked.
Yeah, can you please repeat the question once?
Sakshi, repeat कर the question. Okay, what are the key points which Ritika talked about?
I think first she said about the foundational learning. That is, like, some would argue that the biggest priority is foundational learning. After all, like, children can't read or do basic math by grade 3. They are set up for lifelong struggles, like strengthening Anganwadis in pre-primary education. And then she also talked about the teacher quality, like, because no system can be better than quality of its teachers. Continuous professional development using digital platforms and turning teachers into mentors rather than just instructors could have the widest impact. And third was curriculum and future skills, like, there's the argument for curriculum reform. Our education still focuses on rote learning. If we want India to be future ready, we must emphasize on problem solving, creativity, digital skills, all these things. And one more thing that I would like to add, it is also about reducing inequality. Like, in many places, they go like rural versus urban or private versus government schools. The gaps are widening in that area also, especially after COVID. The digital divide left millions behind. Like, investing in low cost devices, community Wi Fi, the local language content could ensure no child is excluded. So, yeah, that is all I want to say.
Okay. Thank you, Ashita. You were listening अच्छे से. And guys, still I don't see लोगों के cameras on है. Like, what about Anushri, Dhruv, Krishan, where are you guys? Having your meals behind the cameras. Okay. So next, I would like Shri to share her thoughts.
Hello everyone. So the topic for today's policy manthan is basically what should be the top priority to improve the Indian education system. For me, it's about belonging. It's the feeling of inclusion. It's the feeling that yes, I belong to this education system. So for this, I have written a small poem. It's my first time writing a poem, so I hope you all like it. The name of the poem is "Begin with Belonging." Begin not with rules nor rigid design, but with the soft echo, "You are mine." Not possession, but presence, gentle and wide, a space where no child needs to hide. Begin with belonging where names are known, where difference is welcomed, not overthrown, where the girl with no shoes and the boy who can't speak are not seen as broken but beautifully unique, Begin with a teacher who listens, not tests, who sees in each learner a soul that rests, on stories unfold, on dreams yet to rise, on questions that shimmer to curious eyes. Begin with a ramp not just for the feet, but for dignity's march, quiet and sweet. Begin with a book that speaks every tongue, where histories heal and futures are sung. Begin with belonging not as a goal, but with the soil from which all learning unfolds. For when every child feels safe to be, education becomes a possibility. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Okay, Shri, that was great. Thank you for putting in effort. But I wanna ask, this was about the poem, but you are required to deliver a speech, right? So
Yes.
can you tell me what you researched about?
So basically, this is about my personal experience that I have seen many students not doing well just because they feel like they don't belong there. There are many teachers, or I will say almost all the teachers, who belittle students like if they don't know how to do a maths problem, if they can't speak English, if they don't have good shoes, or if they can't. Pronounce a word. So I feel like education is only possible when someone feels, yes, I belong to this classroom, yes, I belong to this school. So if we don't do that, then we can't just promote education. Everyone here talked about teachers not being able to teach, but they will only be able to interact with students when students feel included and when students feel belonged. So I would just like to say that when Ritika said that teachers are not able to teach or they don't know how to teach, the teacher should also be given the training to understand what the students are good at. It should not be like they are only focusing on the students who are just able to speak good English, pronounce the words they are saying, doing all the work they are telling them to do. But the students who are backbenchers, but they have other qualities as well. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Shri. That was great. You always put so much effort in whatever you do. Okay. And next, I would like Sakshi Tiwari to deliver a speech.
So, India is one of the most populated countries, and because of this, providing quality education becomes a great challenge. But over the years, we have seen that India has immensely tried very hard and invested in education and trying to develop our education system. But we often hear and read in newspaper articles and reports that NEP 2020 has failed to move the needle. And why is it so? So, today I will be talking about the major and deep crisis in our education system and its possible solutions. So, even after NEP 2020, many private and public schools have resulted and faced many poor outcomes and still have systematic inefficiencies. So, first is I would like to talk about infrastructure because it is believed to be the foundation of good education. Because without good classrooms, libraries, and basic facilities, how would a school would be able to provide good education to students? So, as per a 2023 report, it is said that only 40% of the schools have drinking water and only 53% of them have separate toilets for girls. So, also, even after many government initiatives and policies, one of them which I would like to mention is Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, rural schools still have very bad facilities. Second problem that I have seen is basically of the lack of qualified teachers because as per the reports in between 2021 and 2024, the over 4,500 secondary school teachers are underqualified and the sanctioned teaching report has dropped by 6% and less than 25% teachers receive proper training. One problem that I could identify, one more problem, is about the GDP we are investing in our education. Because I have seen that yes, we are increasing our investment in education, but as per now, right now, only 6% of public spending we are doing in education, and only 2.5% of private spending in education, which is very less. So what could be the possible solutions in my opinion? First possible solution is basically of the infrastructure. We need to have good infrastructure, like basic amenities like drinking water, good toilets, and also classrooms. And this would also help to bridge the gaps. And one thing that we can also do is by making accessible the digital e-tools and internet to the students. Second is obviously of um, making teacher proper teacher training programs. Like when a teacher is more qualified, he or she would be able to teach well to the students. And third is obviously of investing more in education. So it is going to be very useful for us because as per NEP 2020 also it is mentioned that at least 6% should be invested in GDP, which is not following uh, uh, in our expenditures right now. So these are basically some of the solutions that I could think of, but obviously there's a long way to go because we need to build our education system in a very good manner, and it will take time, but having a positive approach towards it. Thank you.
Hmm. Thank you so much, Sakshi. I like the way you shared your thoughts, the way you gave your own suggestions. And I was shocked to hear about that qualification data of the teachers. Thank you so much. Now, next, I would like Nimmi to go next.
Hello everyone, and I would like to connect the topic with my personal experiences. Where in my college years, I organized some events in government schools of Delhi. Although I chose the government school of Delhi, which are in very posh areas, so I have seen my government schools in my village also. So I have seen that there is a huge difference between the two schools that I have visited. So the major differences that I have seen was the infrastructural gaps, that the absence of libraries in the village ones, and when I organized the events in the Delhi government schools or somewhere else, I found that the faculty members were always pushing the students to learn more and to interact with us more. So that was a very good experience for us to see that, and I think it enabled and it also enhanced the confidence of the students there. And I have read somewhere that recently I read that the definition of the Indian literacy is somewhat very superficial and um, very short, that we can the definition that I am stating here is, it is that the person who are above 7 years of age, or that they know the writing and learning, and they are known as literate in Indian system. If we compare it with the other developed countries, for example of US, it is far different. There is the mention of the practical experiences, and they have to inculcate the education in their real life also, where they have to project their education that they have learned. And in order to conclude my speech here, I would like to answer the question for the topic, that we have to focus on the infrastructural gap to fill the gaps by providing the libraries and labs, laboratory, and trained faculty of the schools, and also for long-term goals in education system for reformation, we have to focus on revolution or reformation of the definition of literacy in India. So in order to spread the broader spectrum of the education in India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nimmi. It was great hearing your thoughts. And next, I would like Mehak Olak
I
to
think
go
we missed
next.
Prachi. She put her name second.
Did I miss Prachi? Guys, might be any internet error from my side. Prachi, do you want to go next?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. So uh, when we understand what is education, education is a lifelong skill. to gain knowledge, to understand life values, and to move forward. But when we talk about Indian education, it is one of the largest education system in the world. There are many loopholes. We agree to that, such as infrastructure is not there, the student and teacher ratio is insufficient. But here I want to highlight two major problems that I believe is one of the most important problems. Like recently, we heard the news that uh, uh, one student of the school killed another student with a knife, the case of Ahmedabad. And earlier than that, we heard a single student, like a student killed one of his teacher. So, there are many cases related to violence, societal cases, like students are stressed. We can see it, one of the recent cases from Sharda University. So there, like even if we are getting education, we aren't becoming capable enough to handle stress. And the students are becoming so competitive around each other that they are not ready to uplift each other. They are trying to pull each other's leg and lead another down. So I believe when the whole motive of education is to make us be prepared for the life, then what is the matter if we are studying but uh, uh, unable to focus on the values? Therefore I believe there should be integration of subjects, so that this pressure is not on the student that what would I do once I have graduated. When there would be integration of subjects, we would be having better awareness, better understanding of different subjects, and can participate in different fields. The second, I believe there should be teacher and student interaction. So the workload of teachers should be reduced of administrative work first. Second, AI can come and help teachers so that teacher can focus on one-to-one interaction between students, so that students are not stressed and they do bring their personal problems even to teachers, so that the whole crux of education is served. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Prachi. Well said. It was really informative. Guys, Prachi said that AI can help the teachers in, connecting with the students. What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, Pam, I agree with Prachi.
Okay, do you
As,
agree?
as if we talk about AI, then I would go with the skill prompt engineering. If we go deep into that, then we can ask the AI, uh, like we can go for ChatGPT. If we ask it to convert the topic into, like, if we ask any topic and ask it uh, um, to explain as a teacher, then it gives answers like a teacher only, like how a teacher can explain the same topic to students. So it can help in this way to students, to teach
But my
students.
but my question was, how can AI help the teachers? It was about you were telling how can AI help the students, right?
No, the teachers too can take help now that they can ask the AI to explain like a teacher, so they can inculcate the same to students.
I think
Okay,
what
Vaishnavi.
she means to say is that AI can suggest lesson plans and teaching methods which will help the teacher
The
itself understand the topic better. Is it right, Muskan?
Yes, ma'am. The ways a teacher can explain the same topic to her students.
Okay, okay, Muskan. Good point.
Okay, thanks, Muskan, for speaking up. Vaishnavi, do you want to say something?
Yes, as she said, Prachi said that there's a lot of stress going on, but sometimes the teacher also does not know what to do when a student is stressed or if he or she has anxiety. So if it goes and asks, or if he or she goes and asks on ChatGPT that my student feels this way, how can I comfort him or her? Then it would be able to, tell him or her that it would be able to train the teacher how to deal with the students. New teachers would probably use this as their elixir or as their Bhagavad Gita on how to have a good relationship with a student.
Yes, valid points. Aditi?
One,
Ma'am, I think we have AI in the form of Google and teachers are taking help, right? So slow and slow, I think AI will be peeping into the classes like Google do exist also. So I think like that. And complete depend is something it is not meant. Like today also we are dependent upon Google and stuff, but it is not like that we are completely dependent upon that. So I think something like that would happen. Okay, rational enough. Dhruv also raised his hand, I guess.
Yes, ma'am. Now, I actually want to add in that AI tools can help the teachers to reduce paperwork and actually give teachers more time to actually teach the children.
Yes, pretty much really. Sakshi?
Yes. So I was saying that AI can also, we can use it, teachers can use AI to also generate videos on topics which are very difficult to explain to students. And alongside with theories, the students can have visual presentation, so it would be easier for teachers to explain it in a better manner. So, yeah, this would be.
The videos wala idea is a good one. Okay. Meg, you may go next. Uh,
Hi, am I audible?
yes, you're audible.
Hi. So, good evening, everyone. If I had to pick one priority for improving India's education system, I think it would be to shift from rote learning to real learning. Because today, most students are trained to score better marks than to understand concepts. And this creates a generation who knows how to get good marks, but they often struggle with applying that knowledge in the real world. So let me give you an example. Many of us remember doing those school projects that were supposed to spark creativity among us. But in reality, it was our parents who used to complete those projects for us. And I still remember being asked to make a zoo model, and I really didn't know how to. So the whole project, it was upon my mother and my father to complete that whole project. And of course, it looked beautiful, but I didn't learn anything from it. So it looked beautiful, but I was not the one who made that project. So this shows how our system values appearance and grades more than actual learning. So another issue is the way school divides students into the so-called golden or silver sections. So basically grouping toppers separately from the average students. On the surface, this might look efficient, but in practice, it really damages a child's confidence. Those placed in the so-called weaker sections, they start believing that they can never do better in life. So instead of motivating them, the system isolates them, which can create a long-term fear of learning. So now the government has been working hard, changing syllabi, shortening or lengthening textbooks, introducing new policies. But the truth is, none of those reforms will work unless the foundation is strong. And the foundation is not just curriculum, but the culture of learning in itself. So we need classrooms where children are encouraged to ask questions, not just memorize answers. We need teachers who focus on building confidence and curiosity. And we need parents and schools to allow children to make mistakes, even if that means keep learning, keep repeating those mistakes. And it is important to make mistakes if you want to learn in life. So, if we can shift our focus from rote learning to the real learning, we will not only just improve our education system, but we will prepare our generation that is more confident, more creative, and that is ready for the future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Meg. You put, you selected two strong keywords, and that was great. You explained it very beautifully.
Thank you.
Now, Khushi Malvia, you may go next.
Vaishnavi and Prachi they want to say something.
Ma'am, this again brings back to us the same point like Shri mentioned about that the classroom should be more inclusive so that nobody feels left behind. And when won't feel that they are left behind, there would be more interactive classes. Their emotions would come out. to their teachers as well as to their classmates, and like the overall purpose of education would be served. So it brings back us to the same point of inclusivity, interactive classes, and all.
Okay, Vaishnavi.
As I'm still in school, I think I'm in a position to say something. But Mehak, I'm not trying to criticize you, but I'm just trying to add a point which shows that there is still a golden beam of light. These days, the projects that we are given, we are actually expected to go and see the kind of experts in that field, maybe go to an industry and actually do research papers instead of just creating an art-based project. So I think it is changing, but we just see it less because we are known for looking at the bad side first. But I'm just saying that there is change going on.
Okay. Shri.
All, hello.
I just want to add on the point when Mehak said about making a zoo. So when I was in sixth, we were asked to make a train using the cardboard, and I didn't know how to make it. So my dad worked on it. We were given a week, and my dad worked on it while I watched TV. So in that sense, I didn't learn anything, but I got full marks. So I just want to say ki the anything, no matter how NEP is being implemented, how it is still going on, but still this is going on. People, teachers are expecting that a sixth class student who doesn't know anything, who doesn't know how to make a single house out of a cardboard, they expect us to make a train, which is completely absurd. And I think that the art projects, even if you're giving art projects to us, you should at least think about it, that what a sixth class student can do.
Okay. Thank you, Shri. Thank you, all of you, for speaking up at least. Thank you for participating.
Also, I want to, hello. Yeah, also I want to add from my previous assignment that I have read, the Kerala's a model of U-shaped benches where they have structured the benches in a way that there is no backbenchers uh, or the scene like that. So where the interaction between the teacher and the students are more enhanced and encourage students' confidence, which I think is a great example that we should focus on.
Okay, no backbenchers. Do you guys
Yeah.
agree? होने चाहिए. I don't agree. But okay. Khushi, you may go next.
Okay. So hi everyone, I'm Khushi Mantia. So if we talk about improving Indian education system, the first priority we should focus on is preparing students not just for exam but for real life challenges. And according to me, there are two areas which need urgent focus. The first and the foremost is making education not just about bookish knowledge but also about practical knowledge. And the second is to take care of a mental well-being of students, which often goes unnoticed. So, if we talk about practical knowledge, we all know that skills like public speaking and critical thinking, problem solving abilities are not just developed in the four walls of classroom, but in on the platforms like Model United Nations MUN, where students are given chance to debate and research about global issues, where they have the where they have time to think beyond their own perspective and make connections. Apart from MUNs, there are other powerful platforms too, like youth parliament, where they get chance to discuss and debate about policies and discuss bills, and also they get to know how actually our parliament works. Other than that, there are tech fest which encourage the entrepreneurial skills of the students, and they also encourage innovation into them. But many schools are not participating in all these activities, and that must change. And these all opportunities should also be encouraged in state board schools where students often does not have the privilege of exposure with CBSE and ICSE student gets. And if we talk about mental well-being, then it is important to note that according to data, almost every year 13,000 students die by suicide, which means we lose 39 lives every day. But why this happens? Because our education system only teaches us how to solve maths equation, but not teaches how to solve our stress. And what is the point of producing toppers if you're also producing traumas? So we should encourage classroom where it is normal to talk about anxiety and where failure is seen as a feedback and not as a setback. So that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Kushi. It was good that you talked about the students' mental health. Uh, Thank you so much. Now I will Urvashi, you may go next.
Hi, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, Urushi, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Urishi, and first and foremost, I would like to say that all of the points that have been made before by Mehak, by Prachi, by Shri, all of those are really great points. And I think I agree with all of those points about teachers, about how teachers are there, and I think that about the education system, the changes that need to be made. So now, adding on to whatever was said before, I would like to just I made this point before as well about proper implementation of the existing policies and how there seems to be an ideological issue in India regarding education. So all of the points that have been made before about how teachers might not be well equipped to deal with student issues or to educate properly. Reforms have been made, teacher trainings exist, but somewhere or the other, the trainings are not provided to the teachers. Curriculum reforms might be made, but students are still seen as someone who's still in college. And my college uses the NEP, where understanding seems to be given more emphasis. We still seem to be marking up answers one night before the exams. So, although reforms are made, I do stress this again that proper implementation exists, because on paper, all of the issues that have been pointed out today have been addressed on paper only, but there does not seem to be a proper implementation of it. Now, on the ideological thing, why do I say that? Is because there seems to be a holy trinity of careers in India, which is doctor, medicine, and IAS. And even teaching as a career is only seen as not seen as a very great career opportunity for a lot of people. It's seen as something that maybe like a woman can do if she wants to do a career, and it's not given the respect that teaching deserves, because teaching again is something that pushes the future generation forward. So I think that that is also an issue. And like mentioned right before me by Khushi about the suicide rates and everything, as someone who has been in very popular schools, um, one of the main things I've seen is that the coordinators in the schools might also pressurize the teachers to finish the curriculum on time, or to make sure that there's like a proper attendance and all. So that also creates a sense of stress in the teachers, where education is not given the real education is not given the priority that it needs, and there are some sort of deadlines set, like in a corporate field, that needs to be fit. So I have personally seen teachers on my own class being stressed out by completing the deadlines more than completing the syllabus. So yeah, I think these sort of things need to be changed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Urvashi. Does anyone wants to say or add anything? But guys, I want to say one thing. Please stick to your time limit. Okay, you get a reminder when when you're, I think, Sakshi, when their 1 minute is over, right? So please time limit पे stick करो आप लोग, वरना it's gonna get बहुत ज़्यादा लंबा. So next Muskan. You may proceed.
I have a question for Urvashi. So, Urvashi, do you think that the policies are failing?
Sakshi, your voice is breaking.
Oh, am I audible now?
Yeah.
Okay. So are the policies failing, or is there a problem in monitoring and accounting those policies?
I think it's the latter. I think like I said, policies do exist but only on paper. Like there seems to be an issue with the accountability, that there is not a proper check and balance that exists for these policies.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rishi. Muskan, you may go next.
Yes. Investing in teachers is equals to investing in the future of India's students. Education is the backbone of national progress, and for India, it is the key to unlock the true potential of its youth. Now, here, the real challenge which comes is improving the quality of learning in India. So, for the same, the first step we could add is strengthening the teachers who are the architects of education. Well trained and motivated teachers can transform the root classrooms into the spaces of creativity. Also, the curriculum must include modern, or I could say the upcoming or the trending topics like financial literacy, artificial intelligence, and sustainability, etc. And also the memorization, which is the key of, which is considered as the key of Indian learning, must be replaced with key with skill-based learning, and exams too must measure the understanding instead of just memory of the students. And rather than preparing the stressed competitors, balanced individuals who are nurtured with mental health and values must be considered. And also, the university level learning must be made more dynamic and globally relevant by promoting innovation and research. Ultimately, or if I conclude, then true reforms lies in making education meaningful and inclusive for all. When India invests in its teachers and modernizes learning, classrooms will no longer be just about passing the exams, but also about it, but also about making or preparing the confident and capable citizens. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Muskan. I think I told you in the last policy Manthan that you should not be reading, and I like that you have put an effort this time. Thank you so much. And next, I would like Nikita to deliver her
Yeah,
speech.
hi. Yeah, okay. So, I would like to propose the three main points to improve the Indian educational system. So, the first one is the marks-based model. We all used to have the biology labs in our schools, but we don't have anything innovative. Like we used to do the chemical reactions and all in the biological labs, but we don't used to make anything productive, like something like drone or innovative something like weather predictors or like that. So the marks-based model. To cure that problem is the marks-based model. Markspace is like having a small innovative center in the school itself with the minimal resources like recycled materials or the solar kits provided to the kids with some simple robotic tools, like not so much hi-fi things, with the basic things so that the students can use them and make the small projects out of them that are very useful. The second thing I would like to propose is the open learning way. We are all the victims of too much emphasis on the syllabus, completing the syllabus. there should be the days where I would like to call it as a learning festival. There should be 2 to 3 days in a month where the students are free to get taught by anybody that is coming in the school. That can either be their parents, grandparents, sharing their life stories, or somebody from literature, scientists. Anybody can be there. So there should be the open learning days to ease up the uh, stress of completing the syllabus. The third point that I would like to propose is the life skill as a core subject. As everybody has mentioned, that mental health is important, and we should emphasize on using it as a core subject, or teachers should teach the students about the mental health. I have a data, like according to the National Crime Bureau, there were approximately 30,555 crimes committed by the minors in our country in 2024. So I would like to propose that empathy should be a subject that can help the students to empathize in the society, and they can be more socially optimal as a citizens. So these were my main 3 points. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikita. That was really informative. Next, Vaishnavi, you may proceed.
So hello everyone. My speech is like a mix of what Krishna Kant, Shri, Prachi, and everyone said. So considering this topic given that is so big, so vast, so controversial, I thought of many things from mental health to budgets, inclusivity to gender issues, from low cost of education to proper school infrastructure. But it doesn't matter if the student isn't taught as to why they are attaining a certain level of education, pieces of knowledge, and training for a skill. In our society, there are many people who hold an opinion of denial towards education. Like in the olden times, they used to say कि सीखने की क्या जरूरत है थोड़ी देर होने के बाद दुकानों में बैठा देंगे. But we have passed through this. But still, on social media, we see that higher secondary level education, or any kind of education for that matter, is criticized. And they even provide examples of billionaires who have not been, properly educated. Still, they are successful. But what we fail to realize that in order for them to become successful, they had to give around 50 to 75% of their lives to reach that position of success. But if we compare it to people like in higher level positions or corporate roles, we see that they require very intensive level of education, but they're able to reach heights of success in a not a very short amount of time, but way more faster than people who are illiterate or have not received a certain level of education. So the thing that I feel the need of the students to understand is that why are we learning this? Because when I was in school, I was always frustrated due to subjects like science or social studies because I never had the chance to truly understand that why do I need this information if at the end of the day I'm choosing a completely different career path. But as I'm growing and I'm experiencing new opportunities, I'm able to find this information very handy. So a lot of students like me face the same dilemma कि पढ़ क्यों रहे ये सब हम इतना रट क्यों रहे but inspiring them to cultivate like an intention that I'm learning because I'm trying to do the good for me, for my family. I'm trying to learn. So it will give them like a path instead of just brushing away the leaves and finding one. They know they have an intention that I need to, move forward. So in conclusion, I would like to put forward this ideology of Sam Dam Danda Bhev. So we have given the dam to the students by, giving them midday meal schemes, incentives. We have bribed the parents to a point that they let their students go to school. We have given them the danda by not giving illiterate people the most important positions. We have also given a bhed, that is, we have also made centers for different types of people, different types of learners. But I think the best way to achieve the most ideal level of prosperity in education is through SAM by telling them that you're learning this for your own good. You're doing this because you need to grow and cultivating like a growth mindset in students. That's it.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Those were some strong ideas. Thanks for sharing everything with us. Navleen, you may go next.
Am I audible?
Yes.
शिक्षा सिर्फ रोटी, कपड़ा और मकान का जरिया नहीं, ये एक ऐसी ताकत है जो इंसान को इंसान बनाती है. Greetings everyone, I'm Navleen Kaur and today I'll speak on what should be the top priority to improve the Indian education system. India is a nation with limitless potential, but the biggest challenge is not lack of talent, it is lack of opportunities. Education in our country still feel like two Indias. One of smart classroom in metros and other of broken benches in villages. Our top priority must be bridging the gap. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, quality of teachers should be our strongest focus. अच्छा guru to अच्छा vidyarthi. If we empower teachers with training, respect, and digital tools, we empower the entire generation. Secondly, the curriculum must change. Right now, we are teaching students how to memorize, but not to innovate. As we say in Punjabi, सिर्फ किताबा दी कहानी ना पढ़ाओ, जिंदगी जीन दा हुनर भी सिखाओ. Education should teach life skills, critical thinking, financial literacy, climate awareness, and much. My dear friends, thirdly, technology must reach the last mile. From Ladakh to Lakshadweep, from Amritsar to Arunachal, a child must feel the sense of opportunity. Digital infrastructure, local language connect, and affordable devices can make this possible. My dear friends, we must remember that education is not just about jobs, it's about nation building. पढ़ेगा भारत तभी तो विकसित बनेगा भारत. So if I had to choose one top priority, it should be equity in education. I repeat, equity in education. Every child, whether rich or poor, from rural areas or urban areas, should get the same chance to learn, dream, and to rise. ਜਦੋਂ ਹਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਡਣ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਰ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ, ਤਦ ਹੀ ਸੱਚਮੁੱਚ ਵਿਕਸਿਤ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੀ ਉਡਾਨ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Navleen. As usual, you put your own touch, the Punjabi quotations and everything. Your voice is so strong. कोई सुन भी नहीं रहा होगा तो सुनने लग जाएगा. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Thank you so
Navleen.
much. Thank you.
So Anshita, you may go next.
Now, am I audible?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I want to speak on the topic what should be the priority to improve the Indian education system. In my opinion, the first priority should be quality teachers, as most of the speakers said. A good teacher can make even a small classroom feel like the best school. If teachers are trained well, motivated, and well respected, then students will automatically learn better and uh, and be more be less anxious and as a introvert student myself, I would relate this a lot, because rather than going to a teacher for asking any doubt, I would go to my friend and ask them any doubt. So good teachers are very needed. And another priority is reducing pressure for exam. Right now, marks decides everything, but marks do not always show real talents, right? Some children are good at dancing, singing, sports, drawing. Our system should celebrate all talents, not just the ability to memorize. My third priority should be equal access to education. Every caste, every creed, every religion, every gender uh, should be equal, right? Especially many children in villages or poor families do not get same chance as city students, as in compared to village. If every child gets proper books and digital tools and especially safe schools, then our country will truly grow. So as we know, India is yet to be a developed country. It's in process. It is a developing country. So if India wants to be a developed nation, the top priority is to make education more meaningful, more practical, and more and equal for everyone. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Anshita. That was really informative. Tanya, you may go next.
Yeah, so hi everyone, this is me, Pragya. I would like to start my speech by mentioning Harivansh Rai Bachchan's famous line, which were inspired by him from Agnipath. So, बिना शिक्षा जीवन अंधकार है, ज्ञान ही इंसान का सबसे बड़ा आधार है. दीप जगमगाए वहीं जहां बच्चों के हाथ में किताब और शिक्षक का प्यार. So India has had a history of being a knowledge hub, and from Nalanda to Takshila, and from like Guru Drona to Rishi Vishwamitra, India had it all, right? So with evolving needs, India's education system needs to evolve itself as well. As one of my friend already mentioned about the statistic that only 53% of Indian schools have separate toilets for women, for girls, and only 43% of schools have clean access to clean drinking water, and around 75% of class 3 students are unable to read class 2 text. So according to me, I feel that infrastructure and quality educators are the major play major role in making the India's education system, and an important element for its reform. So to making the education system like a better model, school students should teachers should have like a good access to training programs, and they should be made accessible to new teaching methods, and they should incorporate that as well. And it's not only just helpful for the students, but to teachers themselves to elevate their career as well. And even our government also put forward some initiatives like Diksha, and the I think there was another thing. I think Nishta. I think there was the Nishta. There was a scheme which was initiated by the government to promote teachers' learning. And apart from that, there must be accessible education, accessible clean drinking water, infrastructure, better infrastructure, playgrounds, and incubators for the students. So it will eventually help in reducing the dropout rates as well. So at the last, I would like to end my speech by Ramdharit Singh Dinkar's famous line that says, "Shakti and Gyan दोनों का हो जिसमें मेल वही राष्ट्र आगे बढ़े वही चमके खेल." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prangya. That was insightful and well prepared speech. Next, I would like
I would like
to.
to ask a question. So, since most of you have said that we need to train our teachers in order to make sure that the education we are providing is more effective, so apart from students' marks, what other parameters should be used to measure a teacher's performance? What do you guys think?
I think like the we can say that enrollment ratios can be the one, and the students' participation. The more they are able to grasp the thing, and they can use it like not only just in like papers or notebooks, they can practically apply those things in the classrooms. So that can be one.
Yes, of course. You may go next, Shri.
I think the major thing will be to see how they talk with other students who are not the best students in their classes, like the ones who are not doing good, and
Backbenchers.
and they are like the backbenchers, and they are not performing well, but still the teachers are treating them with kindness and are helping them. I think that's the biggest parameter of seeing how
Good
the
teacher.
teacher is.
Yes, wonderful point. Aditi, you may go next.
Instead of categorizing these students are best, these students are worst, teachers can do is that ki figuring out what the sort of people saying ki that student is worst. Their duty is that to find out ki what best they can do. Matlab, it is not like that ki they should categorize a student. And second point is that ki they should help developing alternate personality and rational thinking. That student could be rebel, politician. Fear is something which is leading most of the students, right? We fear a lot. So I think a teacher should do that apart from what they actually do.
Yes, absolutely. However, see, when we look at a teacher's performance, what do we usually look at? कि वो टीचर जो जिन बच्चों को पढ़ा रहा है उसके मार्क्स कितने आते हैं। तो हमें ये देखना है कि इसके अलावा हम टीचर्स को जज कर सकते हैं। So that was my question. What you mentioned was how teachers can make their teaching effective. So do you have any point to add to my question?
We can consider that how he or she manages her classroom. That is, uh, for example, how he or she maintains discipline in the classroom without being harsh to the students.
Yes, of course, कर सकते हैं. Good point, Muskan. Nimi, you may go next.
We can see that how much diversity is present in the classroom, which means how the interest of the students are being encouraged by the teachers. Apart from the academics, it will also enhance diversity.
Yes, correct. Prachi, you may go next.
Ma'am, like every individual student has a difference. Like some is good at speaking, some at writing, some have stage fear, or some are even shy to not speak in the class. So, like when we analyze individual students' strength and weakness, through that we can analyze like how much improvement the teacher has brought in those students in evolving. Like the uh, like marking students not on the basis of marks, but understanding what their weaknesses are and then analyzing that is that teacher has been successful in making their weaknesses turning into a strength.
Yes, wonderful point, Prachi. Absolutely, I agree with you. Pranka, you may go next.
Yeah, there is one more thing, as she mentioned, that I think the teacher should be a little bit sensitive towards their students. Like I had a personal experience that one teacher who was kind of biased to some students only, and they used to like degrade other students, like you should be like her, you should be like him, and that should not be there. Like some students have different capacity, not like not everyone is like same. So they must be little sensitive to our students and understand everyone's need, as they are like the main one in the classroom, and they should be open to accept everyone's like individuality. That thing I would like to say.
Yes, correct. Prachi, do you have something to add?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So I believe that we can also judge teachers on how much they encourage creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving among the teachers. So in the report card, I think we can add these columns in the life skill section. How, because I believe emotional intelligence is something that we all need to work on. सो अगर हम ये चीज़ एजुकेशन स्कूल से ही स्टार्ट कर दें, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस पे हम ट्रेनिंग दें, कैसे कंट्रोल किए जाते हैं इमोशंस, इफ़ वी टीच ऑल दीज थिंग्स टू स्टूडेंट्स इट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल। एंड बच्चे इन एरियाज में कैसे परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, इफ़ वी जज टीचर्स परफॉर्मेंस ऑल्सो बेसिस दिस, आई थिंक इट वुड बी रियली हेल्पफुल। डू यू ऑल अग्री?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, it happens like when we are in our pre-primary classes, when we are in like class until I guess fifth. So we are marked on this basis. We have a complete list grading where critical thinking, problem solving. But once we are coming and growing up, coming into senior classes, we do not give importance to these all topics. Like I have seen my report cards, and there are so many aspects that they have been marking on like critical thinking, problem solving. But once we like come to higher classes, these topics are not given importance. So initially they prioritize, but when we grow up, these things aren't prioritized.
Yes, exactly, Prachi. So I think even after fifth class, these things become really important because real life में there are many skills which you know काफ़ी चीज़ें होती हैं real life experience में जिसमें आपको ये skills की requirement होती है. So if we assess these skills even after fifth, it would be really helpful. Aditi, you may go next.
मैम आपका पॉइंट बिल्कुल ठीक है कि हम रिपोर्ट कार्ड में ऐसा ऐड कर सकते हैं, बट व्हाट अबाउट पेरेंट्स? दे वोंट बी सीइंग कि अगर हमारा बच्चा मैथमेटिक्स में कम नंबर ला रहा है, तो अगर उसका कुछ ऑल्टरनेट ऐसा इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस वगैरह में ठीक है, तो दे वुड बी सपोर्टेड। तो अल्टीमेटली उसको डिस्करेज भी मिल सकता है अगर पेरेंट्स इतना एजुकेटेड नहीं। तो मैंने अपनी फैमिली में देखा है, और नॉट लाइक कि वो ऐसी चीजों को कभी सपोर्ट करने वाले हैं। सो दिस इज समथिंग।
Yes, I agree with you, but I feel that this is a different aspect. Like we are focusing on teaching the, training the teachers. So I think इस मैटर में हमें सोसाइटी को भी बदलना पड़ेगा कि वी शुड नॉट गिव मोर इम्पोर्टेंस टू मार्क्स एंड हमें स्टूडेंट के होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट को देखना पड़ेगा. तो गुड दैट यू ब्रॉट अ डिफरेंट एंगल इनटू द होल डिस्कशन. So good point, Aditi.
Okay, thank you, Sakshi. Thank you, everyone. Dhruv, you may continue.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rifin Jamwal, and today I want to share what I believe should be the top priority to improve the Indian education system. If I had to choose just one, it would be strengthening the foundation of learning in the early years. Because if a child cannot read with understanding or solve basic maths by class third, every later reform simply fails. Let me give you a simple example. I have a little cousin brother. When I asked him to explain that what he had just recited, he was struggling to put into words. He could just memorize, but not truly understand the poem. And that gap between learning by heart and learning with meaning is exactly what we must fix. So, how can we achieve this? First is through teachers. Teachers just not get one-time training, but continuous mentoring, peer learning, and workshops. A good teacher can transform even a modest classroom. Second is through assessments. Instead of waiting for board exams, we can simply do monthly checkups, learning checkups, like health checkups, but for learning, so we can catch problems early. Uh, and even parents, local professionals, even college students should be part of the training process. So education cannot be stayed locked inside the school walls. And second point I have to uh, carry on is that we should strengthen public-private partnerships. When government and private sector work together, schools gain better infrastructure, smarter technology, and new resources. It ensures accountability and innovation for and long-term progress, which eventually helps in quality education reaching every corner of the country. And finally, learning must be joyful. It can be through sports, theater, and hands-on projects. And the curiosity, that is the one that should drive education, not the road pressure. And if India ensures strong basics, supported teachers, public-private collaboration, and joyful learning, we won't just educate children. We can empower a generation to think, to create, and to lead. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhruv. That was really insightful. Khushi, you may go next.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, as we all know, education is very important for our country, and many points have already covered in further discussion. So, according to me, when we are learning something new, and even if it is uh, uh, even if it is taught earlier, it is very important that we add the critical thinking. Like right now we are in graduation level, but in also school we should add the critical thinking thing into the studies. Second thing is that we always ended up mugging up things, like we are memorizing everything, that we are just uh, doing rectification. that's that I can say that. So we always end up doing that, and instead of this thing, I guess we should start learning things by our heart, by showing interest, and this can only happen if we'll think critically or analytically. The next point that I want to talk about is teaching about financial literacy, about taxes. That is very important. Like when we are adults, we always end up confusing about the taxes and financial literacy, and this thing should be taught in our schools. Second thing is that end uh, uh, we always end up doing theorizing the things, but we doesn't get the real experiences. And the last thing that I want to say is that the teachers are and the students are very conscious about talking the taboo topics like periods or sex education. Like these topics are not widely taught in schools. They are like taboo, like right now also. So if these things are implemented correctly, I guess our education system will be good for in India. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Khushi. Guys, do you agree that Khushi just said that there are some topics which are considered as taboo? So क्या हमें like हमारी education system में उस चीजों को prioritize करना चाहिए? Is it necessary? Mm, yes, Aditi.
यस मैम, इट शुड बी प्राइवेटाइज, हमें प्राइवेटाइज करना चाहिए। आई थिंक सोशल जो हमारा कंस्ट्रक्ट है, टीचर्स जो वहाँ से ज्यादा मतलब अपने को एसोसिएट करते हैं, मेन टाइम जैसे हम एजुकेशन सिस्टम की बात कर रहे हैं, तो कितना भी कॉलेज हो, कितना भी स्कूल हो, एजुकेशन उस तरीके से आपके दिमाग में थिंकिंग नहीं चेंज कर पा रहा है। तो सेक्स एजुकेशन जैसे हमारे में भी जो भी चैप्टर से टीचर स्किप कर देते थे, तो इट इज समथिंग कि वी डोंट नो अबाउट कि मेंस्ट्रुएशन का क्या एग्जैक्ट क्या चीज है, क्या शेम होना चाहिए, ये वो वैसी। पर ड्यू कॉलेजेस आर समथिंग जो आपको बहुत मतलब चीजों को बहुत उस तरीके से बनाते हैं। तो प्रोफेसर आर समथिंग ऑल, टीचर्स को भी आई थिंक थोड़ा सा वो करके होना चाहिए इन लाइन। तो आई थिंक हाँ, टैबू टॉपिक्स तो कोई नहीं पढ़ा रहा है, तो दिस इज अ समथिंग। तो आई थिंक हाँ, एजुकेट तो करना चाहिए, सेक्स एजुकेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। गुड टच बैड टच जब भी हम इंस्टाग्राम रील्स वगैरह में देख रहे हैं, बट हाँ, दिस इज समथिंग इट शुड बी डिस्कस, नथिंग टू शेम अबाउट।
Okay, Aditi. But तुम लोगों को ऐसा नहीं लगता that including sex education as one of the topics, ये पेरेंट्स के लिए एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं होगा? ज्यादातर पेरेंट्स आई डोंट थिंक सो एक्सेप्ट करेंगे इस चीज को। हाउ डू यू थिंक इस चीज के साथ डील करा जा सकता है? हम्म, प्राण क्या?
Yes, I was about to mention the other thing, which was about periods. Like there was a very funny incident that happened at my school. So we had a workshop regarding the information like about sanitation and periods. So basically, first thing what happened was उन्होंने ये limit कर दिया कि only girls will attend that. So boys were playing at the ground, and they gave us like a yellow packet of pads, लाइक द सैंपल पैड्स, एंड हम वो लेके जा रहे थे। उन्होंने दूसरी बात ये बोल दी कि लाइक मैनेजमेंट स्कूल मैनेजमेंट सेड कि छुपा के लेके जाना। सो वी वर लाइक कीपिंग इट इन आवर पॉकेट्स, एंड दे द बॉयज सॉ इट एंड दे वर लाइक येलो पैकेट लेके जा रहे, इनको तो मैगी मिली है। So they were not aware about the like what are pads and what are menstruation. Like उनको कुछ पता भी होगा तो they are not that much aware about it. So yeah, there must be some more information which were given to them and they should know about all these things.
ओके आई थिंक हाँ यहाँ पे सारी लड़कियां ही हैं। आई थिंक ध्रुव इज द ओनली मेल गाय, है ना? ध्रुव, वेयर आर यू? ध्रुव, आई वांना आस्क यू तुम्हें जब
Mhm.
ये होता था, सो लाइक मेंस्ट्रुएशन के बारे में बताया जाता है ना? सो वर यू फ्रॉम दोज बॉयज जो बस क्यूरियस होता था बाहर खड़े होके, दैट जब गर्ल्स आएंगी पूछूंगा कि व्हाट डिड हैपन, कुछ चॉकलेट वगैरह
No,
मिलेगा?
no,
आर यू अवेयर
no,
अबाउट
no.
दिस?
Like I got to aware about this like in like class 8, but I was not like that much curious because it was it can get awkward to be honest. So I just avoided the conversation.
ओके, बट मैंने देखा है लाइक माय गाय फ्रेंड्स आर देयर, वो लोग आई थिंक अब ये कोई टैबू नहीं रह गया है, गाइस आल्सो नो अबाउट दिस एंड वो लोग आई थिंक बहुत रिस्पेक्टफुली डील करते हैं इस चीजों के साथ। बट इट्स जस्ट अबाउट वो बचपन से नहीं होता है, 12th के बाद ही वो लोग समझते हैं थोड़ा। तो ओके, थैंक यू ध्रुव, अगर ऑकवर्ड करा हो हम लोगों ने तो सॉरी। एंड
Yeah, I
यस
think we have
निम्मी,
traumatized him enough for today.
It's
नेक्स्ट टाइम हर्ष को पकड़ेंगे। यस निम्मी, स्पीक।
So about the parent thing, I think if we will educate the student, they will only change their mindset gradually. And even after the Indian education system is being the COVID school system, they will always divide girls and boys roles, which I think is very problematic according to me.
ओके श्री।
I would just like to say the last thing which she said ki divide girls and boys ka. I don't know if anyone of you faced this, but I faced, because whenever I used to talk with my guy friends and a teacher used to see me, they were just used to make this snide remarks कि हाँ तुम पढ़ाई को छोड़ के अभी लड़के के साथ घूम रहे हो. I don't know, but the teachers used to make this snide comments, and this just used to make me so bad. And they used to do it in front of a whole class. Like in my class, there were 40 students. So the students were also like कि हाँ तेरे को ऐसा बोला. So this used to make me feel so bad. So I think it, for making this whole change, the teachers, the parents, everyone should be taught. First, they should be taught about these things. They should know about these things before talking about all of these.
Okay, pretty much rational, Shri. Aditi, you want to say something?
मैम मुझे लगता है कि पेरेंट्स भी अपने बच्चों से सीखते हैं। मतलब आई डोंट थिंक कि पेरेंट्स कुछ ऐसा बहुत एक्सट्रीम अगेंस्ट हो जाएंगे। प्लस ये भी एक चीज है कि जिन कुछ ऐसा तबका हमेशा रहने वाला है समाज में जो नहीं एक्सेप्ट करेगा चीजों को। 100% इंडिया में तो किसी चीज का एक्सेप्टेंस कभी नहीं मिलने वाला है। दिस इज समथिंग वेरी ट्रू। आई रिसेंटली किसी न्यूज में मैंने पढ़ा कि बच्चे ने जाके अपने पेरेंट्स से पूछा कि सेक्स में जो नहीं होता हमारा कॉपीज में होता है, सेक्स में फीमेल मेल में क्या टिक करना है। उसको लिटरली बहुत डांटा गया घर पे कि ये कैसा भद्दा सवाल है। तो दिस इज समथिंग कि कुछ लोग नहीं एक्सेप्ट करने वाले हैं, बट हाँ कुछ पेरेंट्स हैं जैसे मेरे पेरेंट्स भी, वो एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं चीजों को धीरे धीरे करके, चाहे वो लिविंग जैसा बहुत बड़ा कॉन्सेप्ट क्यों ना हो। दिस इज समथिंग हाँ पेरेंट्स सीखते हैं। तो आई थिंक अगर स्कूलों में ये चीज बहुत अच्छे से शुरू हो जाए तो फिर पेरेंट्स भी चेंज होंगे।
यस ट्रू आदित्य, लाइक जब मेरी बायोलॉजी की क्लासेस होती थी इन 8th और 9th, वो रिप्रोडक्शन के बारे में पढ़ा रहे होते थे एंड आई थिंक हमसे ज्यादा हेजिटेट हमारे टीचर्स करते थे। उनको दे यूज टू फियर कि बच्चे किस वे में लेंगे, स्पेसिफिकली बॉयज। गर्ल्स आर वेरी चिल, है ना ध्रुव? बट आई थिंक नॉर्मलाइज होना चाहिए सब कुछ, इतना बड़ा कुछ चीज नहीं है। सो किसने मेंशन करा था यार, आई फॉरगेट, आई थिंक खुशी ने मेंशन करा था ना ये पॉइंट, टैबू वाला।
Yes, yes.
ग्रेट पॉइंट खुशी।
वही मैम।
सो साक्षी, इज एनीवन लेफ्ट? आई थिंक सबने बोल दिया है।
हाँ, I think list में सबने बोल दिया. Anyone else who wants to speak?
कोई
आई
बच्चा है
थिंक
तो?
मेरा रह गया है।
हु इज इट, मेरे को दिख नहीं रहा। Guys, whosoever
Even I
is
can
left,
see.
वो बोल सकता है.
मैम अदिति मैंने अभी तक नहीं बोला, थोड़ा नेटवर्क।
Oh, you haven't delivered your speech. Okay, Aditi, you may continue.
Yes, ma'am. So I think practical exposure is something which is needed in school. We have so much of theoretical knowledge. This could be happen and that could happen. And now we are answering on the topic, ki, okay, algebra and stuff can use into their life, but it is not something like that. Maths is very important, and still I'm very bad in mathematics, and I currently wherever I'm going, it is very necessary. So I started everything from scratch in my graduation. So I think whatever and in our school, I belong to a private school, but it is very unfortunate. In my private school, there is not a single teacher who know English properly. So this is something ki, I don't know what qualification they are seeing and they are just keeping the teachers and hiring them. So I think practical exposure is very important. Little bit of product engagement is very important. Ki, a rational thinking, development of rational thinking is very important. कि व्हाट इफ कि अगर हम इस चीज में समाज में अगर ये कुछ चीज लागू करेंगे तो इस पे कैसा इफेक्ट पड़ेगा, ऐसे करके आई थिंक हम एक फोरम बना करके स्कूल में थोड़ा डिबेटिंग करके लोगों को थोड़ा राशन बनाने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि आजकल जैसे लोग कट्टर हमें देखने को मिलते हैं फैनेटिकल व्यूज, it is mostly I don't know, people are more to belong to that certain community. I think शुरू से अगर उनको हर चीज के बारे में थोड़ा थोड़ा बताया जाएगा तो उनके लिए बहुत शौक नहीं होगा कि दुनिया में ये चीजें भी कुछ एग्जिस्ट करती है. मतलब we can see the differences of bourgeoisies and proletariat into that system.
Okay, thank you, Aditi. That was informative. I don't think so anyone else is left. पर है ना साक्षी? I don't think so कोई बचा है.
Yeah, I think we've covered everybody.
Okay, so before ending this meeting, guys, कुछ किसी को कुछ कहना है? Anything? या फिर any feedback? Or shall we just end this?
Do you guys have any topic in mind which we can keep for our next policy manthan? Okay, you can think about it, and if you come up with any topic, you can just you can message on the group.
Guys, do you want to keep that taboo वाला topic? तुम्हें लगता है आप लोग अलग अलग एंगल से देख पाओगे?
Yes, ma'am.
How many of you agree? या फिर कुछ और broad चीज चाहिए? I think not much.
Maybe about the problems we faced during our schooling, something like that.
Okay. Sakshi will ask them, I think, अगर उनके पास कोई suggestion होगी later on.
Mhm. अगर if you guys have any suggestion, put it on the group so that even we get some time to discuss it with sir. And if we get a go ahead, so we'll have the next policy manthan based on the topics which you have suggested.
Okay, guys, आप लोगों ने बहुत अच्छे से बोला and बहुत अच्छा रहा आज का. ऐसे ही बोला करो and keep participating ऐसे. So I think that is it for today's policy manthan. Thank you everyone for joining in.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you everyone for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.